touch of the oil by sun ever again. Do you know what man's not hot means?
What?
My brother keeps saying man's not hot.
Who's that?
My brother.
Wait, but...
He just, like, yesterday I told him to give his hoodie to my sister on their way home, and he was like, man's not hot.
What does that mean?
I think he means, oh, I'm not hot, I'm just taking my clothes off, but he keeps saying it. I think it's a meme. Is this how you feel all the time?
Yeah. I don't even know if I know how to do this anymore.
Give it a good shot. How you going?
Seconds are hard. We should get one of those little squirty bottles that they have for action boxes.
And then what do? You just stand for a distance and spray.
So you have to come into contact with the other man's face, you know.
This lighting looks effed. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So all my house stuff has fallen through. I'm currently searching for whole new properties with a whole new person. It's just all a nightmare, and I don't think that I can do daily vlogging because my entire day consists of sitting around filling out housing applications and just freaking out over where I'm gonna live, and it's all terrible and not very interesting. And I'm sure unless you wanted to watch half-hour clips of me crying despondently while staring at a wall, there's nothing much here for you. So I look absolutely terrible and sound possibly worse. I'm really sick and I feel like I just can't stop crying once I started. A lot of people have sent me really lovely messages because I guess that I might be the only person who's really into K-pop in their lives. For those of you who don't know, one of my favorite idols from a group I've been following since I was really young, Kim Jong-hyun, took his own life a couple of days ago, and it was just recently confirmed by his company. And I feel like sort of having all the translations and everything and the news sort of being slowly rolled out has been like this kind of delayed, diffused trauma and shock. It's so strange, I think, to find out about things online because you have to sort of piece it all together for yourself, and then once you do, you kind of feel like, well, shit, why did I bother? Because I just wish I hadn't known it all. It's been really lovely seeing like all the different parts of the fandom sort of come together to support Shawls and to support the people who have been, you know, affected by the loss, and also to speak out about, you know, mental health and about Jonghyun's own advocacy for people living with mental health problems and all that sort of thing. And it's just like, for me personally, when I was in year 9 or 10, and 10 really, I wasn't really going to school. I was really, really severely depressed, just completely isolating myself, lost all interest in everything. And the only thing that really got me going back to school again was listening to K-pop and just having that as a diversion, as some kind of distraction, and it made me really happy. I know that a lot of people think that it's silly. A lot of people, you know, shame people for liking K-pop, and for a little while I kind of distanced myself from it because I was like, well, I don't want to like pop music, but it is what I really like, and I still really like it now, as a lot of people probably know. And it got me through a lot of really hard times, and is a really important part of my life. Everything is always happening so much. I don't even really know how to process this. I feel like right now I'm so sick that it just feels like some kind of delirious nightmare, and that I'll wake up tomorrow or the day after and it will all be a hoax or something. For me also, anytime anything like this happens, it just gets me thinking about death. It's obviously a really dangerous time for me and a lot of people. I'm just so sick right now, like I'm a fucking mess here. You know, I was just looking over the lyrics to Breathe, that he wrote for Hai, and those words, I think they're words, like I read so many comments on that video, one of the lyric videos, where people were like, these are the words that I would have wanted to say to him, and I hope that, you know, he knew deep down that this song was for him as well. And it says in the song, you know, that even though you might not understand what they're going through, that you're still there for them. And I think that that is all we can really offer each other, because we can't read each other's minds, and we can't really inhabit one another's places in the universe. But, you know, I hope that you're all doing okay, whoever's watching this. I hope I'm doing okay. I don't really have a lot of energy to give to other people right now, but I hope that we can all take care of each other. Thank you for everyone who's taking care of me. If anyone wants to talk, you know, just hit me up on Twitter. And I know people die all the time, and I know that more people in my life and in this world will die, for sure. But this one feels like a big one. I don't know why. There have been so many really tragic instances of people taking their own life, even this year alone, that you see on the timeline. I think this is the one that just hit me really hard, because Shani's been that group that I followed for so long, and I think Johan was always that person who I identified with the most. To know that someone worked so hard for so long to try and get help for himself, and to try and advocate for help for people like him, you know, it's just, I hope that people don't make something bad out of this, that the industry actually collectively does something good. And it just sucks that it takes people, you know, just breaking again and again and again, over and over, you know, to the point where we're just inundated and numbed by the number of people, even this year alone, who have decided that they couldn't go on anymore, and that it all got too much. I think it's so hard to talk about mental health. I mean, as much as I feel like I try to be really earnest about my mental health and my needs, it's so easy just to fall into this trap of joking about it and laughing about it, because it's really hard to ask for help, and it's really hard when you feel constantly like you're a burden on other people, and that, you know, you don't want things to be heavy. You don't want to take yourself too seriously. You know, I would much rather joke about my mental health than really earnestly say, hey, I need help. I don't know, like, my first instinct when people reach out to me is to comfort them, because I don't want them to have to do the labor of making me feel better. I feel like that should be my responsibility. I don't know, it's so easy to say, you know, it's really important to reach out and check in with people and make sure they're okay, but when people do check in with me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Like, how do you say that things are bad and that you don't know what to do with yourself? I always say I really hate it when people are inconsolable, and I hate being inconsolable around people. Like, I hate being that person where if someone's like, is there anything I can do? You know, do you want to talk about it? And you just think to yourself, there's no reason why I should tell you anything. There's no point to me telling you anything because there's nothing you or I or anyone can do. So why would I want to burden anyone with that information? You know, why would I want to burden anybody with that at all? And I think that's a big part of why I guess, you know, I don't really want to reach out to people most of the time, because how do you say any of those things to someone, you know? You feel like you're beyond helping when you feel inconsolable. I just can't see the point in telling anybody about it, because, you know, no one can do anything. So why would you bother saying it out loud? It just makes it more real. And then you have to live with the knowledge that now someone else has to deal with your shit. Now someone else has to think about your problems before they go to sleep at night, because that's what I do when people tell me about their problems. And I don't resent that. You know, I really want to be able to hear people out and listen to them. But sometimes it feels like a lot, you know. Like, I always feel like it's such a drain on me emotionally when people confide in me. I know it's a great honor, but it's also a lot. And so sometimes I always have to catch myself, and I always want to ask, like, is it okay if I tell you about this? Like, is it okay if I share this? Because I don't want someone else to have to take on the burden of my life or my emotions or my health or anything like that. I'm such a believer in personal responsibility that I really think, like, I believe in myself that, you know, I just believe that if there's something wrong, that it's my own responsibility to deal with it, and that I shouldn't put it on anyone else. And it just floors me every time, the number of people who have it in them to love me and reach out to me and care for me, and I should know. Like, I kick myself for not making the most of the knowledge that so many people who I know would do so much to just listen to me and take care of me. But I think when you know that there is nothing that anyone can do for you, or nothing that you have ever been able to do for yourself to make things better, and so my only way of returning that love to those people is to just be okay for them, because I just hate the idea that the people I love have to ever see me suffer in a sincere way. So I can only ever joke about it, because in knowing that there are people out there who love you that much, in merely knowing that they would do anything for you to make you happy and to make things okay, and to know that there is actually nothing that they can do, I don't want to put that helplessness onto them either. Like, the helplessness that I feel, I never want to put that on anybody else. I feel like sometimes it's really hard even tweeting into the void or posting something on social media, because you get this barrage of people who just want to wish you well. But I feel indebted to them. I feel like I need to respond to every single one of them personally and reassure them and tell them that it's okay, that my cry for help isn't really a cry for help, that it's fine. And the attention kind of overwhelms me. It's so exhausting for me to thank everybody and try and deflect in some way, because I just really don't want people to worry. I don't know why I let myself worry about other people, but I won't ever let other people worry about me. The people who I love most, I think that despite how much I try and joke about it and be lighthearted about it and be okay around them, that they can really see when I'm not. But how are they supposed to broach the topic when I won't let them? You know, I don't think I'm as self-aware as I think I am, you know. I don't think I'm really half as clever as I try to be. The people who are around me all the time really do know when things aren't okay, that they can tell when I'm not doing well, and that's why they keep asking, and they always keep that open for me if I ever needed it, or if I ever wanted to. For me, it's easier to be jokingly weak, to be weak in a way where I could laugh it off. And really hard to be weak in a way where you open yourself up to being helped by someone else. And letting yourself be helped by someone means giving over a bit of that autonomy. And I'm such a control freak. I need so much power over everything. It's stupid. Anyway, for anyone who's feeling really shit right now because of Jonghyun's death or general chemical imbalance in your brain, hope you're hanging in there. I'm already so sick and congested and I just made it worse by crying. I hope tomorrow is a better day for us. I feel like I've suppressed all of these emotions for so long because I didn't let myself feel unwell. Or rather, I didn't want to own up to the fact that I was unwell. I didn't want to show that anything got to me, that I was weak, that I needed help from anybody. But, you know, maybe I do. And I'm lucky, so lucky to have what I do have. And I can really hope that in some small way I can begin to return that or to pay it forward in some way. I can only hope that in some small way I can begin to deserve the kind of love that I get and to learn how to process it and to learn how to channel it. I hope for anybody else who's coming to similar realizations or for whom this news has unearthed a lot of buried feelings, that you're hanging in there. Not that I can offer very much, but if you did want to talk, you know, I hope that you have someone to talk to. And if not, maybe we can have a little chat over the DMs. I'll send you some pictures of the flowers I've been taking. I'll send you some pictures of flowers and birds and, you know, other nice things I encounter on my walks around my neighborhood. I'm actually doing really well this year. I think tonight is just a bad night. Obviously triggered by some really intense news. And I think in a way it's really healthy and good for me to own up to some of these feelings. Regardless of whether I post this or not, it's good for me to have this record in a way of the things that I thought of the things that I felt tonight. Because these things are important. These things are part of the process. They're part of my progress. They're part of getting better. And I don't really like to wallow in sadness anymore. You know, I don't think that's cool. I'm not 14 anymore. I actually just really want to be better. I want to get better. When I think about how long it's actually been, it overwhelms me to think that it takes this long and longer. Anyway, thank you again to everyone. I hope that this hasn't made you more worried. I'm not promising that I'm fine. It's so easy to just say I'm fine, everything's okay. What I really mean is I'm really earnestly trying. Not the best I can, but I am trying. I'm trying to get better bit by bit. And I have been getting better. I can acknowledge the progress I've made, and I can only hope that I'll be making more. And this is taking so much longer than I ever thought possible, but at the same time, I'm glad I'm doing it, and I'm glad I'm doing it with you all. I hope we can get better together.